What's going on, guys? I'm FlexZero, your tech hero. Now, some of you may know, well, actually most of you probably don't know. I mean, only like 100 people seen the video. I'm making this series on my channel where I'm building, or actually rebuilding, my old PC and turning it into the ultimate PC. And I kind of went over on what happened in part 2 of the series, but in this video I'll try to go a little more into detail and try to stop you from making the same mistakes as me. So I got part 1 knocked out, awesome, everything went fine. 1 week later I get some more PC parts in and I get started on part 2. Now everything was going amazing, the camera angles were on point, I didn't have to do many retakes, and it was almost too good to be true. Well, guess what? It was. You see, while transferring the old 850 watt platinum power supply from my old PC to my new PC, I noticed something alarming. I actually had only one SATA power cable plugged into the PSU. This was a problem because now I need power for 6 fans, a lighting core, a Commander Pro, and 3 more fans in part 3. My poor one cable with 4 plugs on it just wasn't gonna cut the mustard anymore. Now normally this wouldn't be a problem, right? I mean, I could just go to the box from 5 years ago and just grab a cable out of there. Well, not exactly. I might have threw that box away or misplaced it or threw it in the trash, I don't know. Anyways, the box is gone, no extra cables, no manual, no nothing. So what do I do now? Do I buy a whole new power supply? They sell SATA power extension cables on Amazon for like $10, but it's kind of sketchy. Being it's a third-party power cable and you're extending the circuit, so it's a greater chance of you overloading it. I already spent a lot of money on parts to rebuild my PC. I really didn't want to add an extra $150 for a power supply to that list of parts. So what did I do? Well, I did what anyone would do. I used my phone a friend lifeline. Hey man, who's this? It's Flex. Flex who? Man, Flex from down the road. Your friend Flex. Oh, what up, bruh? My bad, I couldn't hear you. I was feeding my chickens. Dude, you don't have chickens? Yeah, man, I found them last night. They just came into my yard, so I thought I'd get some eggs out of them before. Anyways, look, bruh, I need a favor. Why didn't you just say that? What you got, bruh? Do you have an extra SATA power cable from your power supply laying around anywhere? I really don't want to buy a new power supply. Yeah, man, I got about 50 of them things. Come get you one. All right, be there in 5 minutes. So I drive over to his house to go pick up the cable, and then I drive back home. I plug the cable into the power supply, and then I plug the other end into the hard drive because that's what I needed the cable for in the first place. Then I go to turn the PC on, and it turns on, but then I hear a pop, and it shuts off. At this point, I'm not even thinking about how the power cable is the issue. So what do? I push the button again. This time it starts up, but it stays on. So everything seems okay, but then I realized something. I realized that my extra hard drive isn't showing up in Windows. So the same hard drive that I plugged that power cable into. It was at that very moment that I realized I made a mistake. So I hurry up, turn the PC off, unplug the cable. It was too late, the hard drive was toast. Now I made this video so that you could learn from my mistake rather than making it on your own. So why did the SATA power cable from my friend not work? They fit the same plug. Well, the simple answer to that question is that the power supply end to that cable isn't standardized, but the other end is. And by the way, this isn't just with SATA cables, this is with any PSU cables. You see, the cable from that power supply has the pins lined up in a way so that it sends the correct voltages to your hardware. Another power supply also has the pins lined up correctly so they can send the correct voltages down that cable. But it's 2 different cables made 2 different ways, so if you mix them, you'll have problems. So you're saying, well, how can that be? And the simple answer is every company engineered a PSU a different way, but get the same results. Even cables in the same brand can be made differently. Just use the PSU cables that came with your PSU and you won't make a critical mistake like I did. I honestly did know better, but in the moment I didn't think about what I was doing and it costed me a hard drive. Thankfully it wasn't the hard drive that my Windows was on, but it did have raw footage from YouTube that I can never get back. It could have been a whole lot worse though. I've heard horror stories of people doing this and they fried their whole computer. Everything's toast. So what can be done about this, you might ask? Well, nothing really. As long as PSU companies don't standardize their cables, they'll make money when someone loses one and needs another, because now they either have to A, buy a whole new power supply, or B, contact the company directly and try to get a new cable. So by not standardizing their cables, they make way more money. Anyways, I think this video is getting just a little bit too long now, but that's basically the story of how I almost burned out my PC. I hope you learned from my experience so you don't have to make this mistake one day in the future. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.